Welcome to Coin Story. I'm Pete. Coin Story focuses on the history of a single coin. Coins move through the ages from hand to hand and from decade to century. These coins represent the work and culture of the people that own them. Every coin has a story to tell if you're patient enough to listen. Take a little time out of your day and join me for a walk back in time. Every coin has a life, and each coin tells a story. Hello, coin connoisseurs. Welcome back to a very British coin story, the podcast where coins aren't just currency, they're characters. I'm your numismatic guide, Pete, a little bit of historian, a little bit coin collector, but today we're going full on royal drama, powdered wigs, questionable sideburns, and extra flair. Because today's star of the show is none other than the 1821 English crown coin featuring His Majesty King George IV. Not the Mad King, we're talking about his son, George IV, or as I like to call him, his royal ladies man. Would you like some cavatier? So picture this. It's 1821. England is still recovering from the Napoleonic Wars. Jane Austen's books are all the rage. And George IV is like, you know what this country needs? A coin with my majestic face on it. And not just any face, a Roman Emperor version of me. Yes, folks, on the obverse, you'll find George IV looking like he's ready to lead a toga party at Delta House instead of a kingdom. Toga, 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 toga. Now, this guy, George, he wasn't content with just being king. Oh, no. He wanted to be immortalized in silver with curly Roman locks, a laurel wreath, and the kind of smug expression that says, I absolutely demanded 3 mirrors for this image. You will also see a small A under the neck bust. Even though the coin was struck on Tower Hill in London at the Royal Mint, the coin has a counter stamp from Newfoundland, Canada. This was put there by colonial authorities or a bank official to establish it as legal currency in the New World. These counter stamps were used throughout the British Empire. It's like a teenager that goes down to Mexico and comes back with a Speedy Gonzales tattoo. On the reverse, we get the scene straight out of the myth. St. George slaying the dragon, and the kings really like to imagine themselves slaying dragons instead of just dancing the minuet in front of a royal court of fanboys. But back to George IV, our king of the hour, and apparently the king of over the top. Historians say he was vain. Like if Instagram had existed back then, George IV would have posted 6 selfies a day and called them royal portraits. Now you knew that George IV was the king of the United Kingdom, but did you know that George was also a German king? Yes, George was eating sauerkraut with his eggs and bangers. As you can see on this 1866 Hanover Thaler, the obverse has George IV, who was an actual German king, took the throne because Hanover would not accept a female ruler in Queen Victoria. And on the reverse, we see the Hanover coat of arms, which has a lion and a unicorn around a crown. Now, collectors love the 1821 coin. Why? Because it's not just a coin, it's a time capsule from an era where kings wanted to be gods, dragons were metaphors for continental battles, and facial hair was aggressively sculpted. Coin fact: this is one of the first coins minted after the Great Recoinage of 1816. So it was kind of like the iPhone launch of 1821. People lined up except instead of sleeping outside an Apple store, they just complained about it in a pub. "Oh, look, Harold! Another crown with the king's face on it." "Yes, Nigel, but this time he looks like Julius Caesar. Oh, how regal. Pour me another ale." Well, that's it for today's episode of Coin Story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and flip a coin today. You never know, history might just wink back. Keep collecting and telling the stories of the past. You are the keepers of human histories in metal form. And remember, every coin has a life and story to tell if you're patient enough to listen.